Hey everyone, and welcome back to Bridging the Gap. Make sure to leave a like on this video down below and subscribe. My name is Alvin. I lean right on most issues, and I'll be representing the Republican side.
My name is Luke. I lean left on most issues, and I'll be representing the Democratic side. Hey guys, in this video, we have a bit of a different type of video for you. Alvin and I are going to be giving you our bipartisan takes on what would have happened if Joe Biden stayed in for the 2024 presidential election. So yeah, a bit of an alternate history video for you guys here.
Yeah, we don't really do alternate history on this channel, but this is going to be an exception because we saw the 2024 results. Trump won in a pretty big fashion. He swept the swing states. And if Biden stayed in, we think that Trump would have done even better. The swap out for Kamala Harris was not perfect, as we know, but it probably saved Democrats, some down ballot races and such, and definitely would have saved them an electoral blowout even further in the electoral college. So we're going to be going through the states that we think there's going to be some changes. And so we've sort of marked out here the states we believe both sides would have won by over 10 points for sure. For the Democrats, we mark out very, very solid states. But as you can see, they only have
Hmm.
120 electoral votes, way less than they usually have. And in terms of the Republicans, they're already up at 218, simply off of places they already won by over 10 points with Kamala Harris as the nominee, which means it's probably going to get a lot worse for the Democrats here very
Yes.
shortly.
I mean, yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, in reality, we saw what happened. Trump did really well, like with Hispanic voters, particularly swinging right in a massive fashion. So yeah, Kamala ended up losing the popular vote, and we'd I think right now she's on track to lose it by about a point or two, the popular vote, and we think if Biden were to have stayed in, him obviously being much less popular and not being able, probably much less likely to turn out the base at the rates Kamala did, we would expect Biden to lose by about 4 to 5 points nationally. Um, anyway, I guess, yeah, which states do we want to start with here? Um, like,
I think we can start with a few more safe states, or at least Maine second. I think
oh,
would
yes.
have would have easily go over 10 points for Trump. So I'll just mark that straight away.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we can talk about likely states on either side.
Yeah, okay. I guess I'll start with the Democratic bastions here, what normally would be Democratic bastions. I guess I'll start with Colorado. Why not? Colorado's been swinging pretty hard to the left, but this election was, of course, a bit of an exception with the nation swinging so hard right. Even Colorado tipped to the right ever so slightly. Yeah, Harris won this by 11. I think Biden would definitely be pushed into single digits with this here. So yes, it would definitely be a likely margin under a Biden versus Trump election here. Um, Other states we could look at in this category, I think definitely Illinois and New York here. Both states like that, even only Harris only got over just above the, double digits. So it's pretty likely that Biden would be pushed under those margins for those two states as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that totally makes sense. I mean, I honestly would have never expected Colorado to go here at any point with any candidate, but that's pretty much a certainty, honestly, if Biden stayed in. However, it is important to note that Colorado is one of the only states where you had you had suburbs actually still shift to the left as expected, and a lot of the other places, they stayed the same or went to
Hmm.
the right even. So big there. Illinois has been shooting right, of course, in this. In this reality that we are in, if we zoom
Hmm.
in, very self-explanatory. Chicago as well, because urban
Yeah.
area. And then, if we do move over to the state of New York, there have been big shifts in New York City, specifically with so much diversity in the city, a lot of minority
Yeah.
groups shifting to the right. And, I think Trump also won upstate, if you look at
Yes.
just upstate. So that's pretty big for him. I think that those are pretty self-explanatory. Um,
Yeah, I think some of the
yeah.
biggest shifts in the nation came from that New York City area in favor of Republicans. I believe, yeah, like that New York City area just like really blasted right. I believe New York and New Jersey had the two hardest shifts right of any states in the nation. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would also personally add Maine to this list. Kamala Harris won this by 7, and I don't think Biden would leak as much support as you would think in New England. Actually, I think he would do better in the New England area. So I would personally put Maine as well into the likely column. I don't think he would lose more than 2 more points
I
here.
mean, yeah, I could see that. I mean, I definitely think, there was some polling indicating that older white voters were warmer to Biden than they were to Harris, or at least about the same. Um, and
Correct.
that New England area definitely has, more of that demographic. So yes, I could see that. Okay, well, we could put that in
Okay.
the.
Now let's move on to the likely Republican states, which I think we can easily start with the state of Arizona. This is
Hmm.
probably the least controversial one because Trump already won it by 5, and he would probably win it by 7 or 8 even in a Biden. I think Nevada, I would also put in the
Nevada,
likely.
yes.
Yeah, we would put that as an over 5 win. But looking at the East Coast, I mean, I don't think we'd go there with the Rust Belt. But
Maybe
what do you
North
think about
Carolina. I think North
North Carolina?
Carolina potentially as well.
Okay.
North Carolina, I think Trump's ahead by about 3 points. Yeah. Yeah, I think definitely that yeah, North Carolina would be likely are in this case too, for sure. Georgia, I think, is more the borderline for this. Trump's winning it by 2 right now against Harris. Yeah, with Biden in the race, yeah, pretty borderline. I mean, I think yeah, we could probably even chuck Georgia in there too, honestly,
Yeah,
because yeah,
probably.
I don't, yeah, because I mean, yeah, Harris definitely is going to have some appeal with black voters, so that probably helped with a lot of the leakage in Georgia. I mean, as you can see, like if you look at the swings in Georgia, a lot of those suburbs still swung left in those areas. And the cities didn't really, Atlanta at least, didn't really swing as far right comparatively to other cities in the nation, like New York City, for example. So I think, yeah, a lot of that, a lot of that might not have been present if Biden was still on the ballot. So, yeah, I think actually, yeah, it is probably fair to say Trump would have won Georgia and North Carolina by over 5. Um, if yeah,
Yeah, I suppose
if
that's
Biden was
fair.
still if Biden was still in the race, yes.
Okay, now we can go into the lean states. I guess we'll talk about the lean Democrat ones. We'll go back to the Democrat side. And I
Mm.
think a lot of these states that were like pseudo competitive states we could put in there, like the core, 4 states. I don't know which ones you'd put in lean or kill, but I think
Hmm.
easily New Mexico we'd go into lean, in my
Yeah,
opinion. I mean, Harris won it by 6. Biden probably wins by 2 or 3, but I guess technically you might have seen an even bigger Hispanic backlash to Biden if they're voting based off of immigration, for example. He might be more tied to the border policy. I guess probably Minnesota. I think, like we said, with the older white voters in
I actually,
Minnesota. What do you
I mean,
think?
I don't think Minnesota. Oh, we can come back. I mean,
I think
actually,
Tim Walz did something.
yes, I'd actually contend
Okay.
that you know Tim Walz wouldn't have been on the ticket if Biden was if Biden was running. Obviously, it'd be Biden Harris. So I think Harris was at least helped a little bit by having Tim Walz in that area on the ticket. Um, So I wouldn't really say that. I would actually even say that, yeah, like Minnesota would probably be in tilt. Either way, I'd be pretty 50-50 on that if Biden was running. Like I just yeah, I think Tim Walz does give Harris a slight boost in the state, but yeah, just on top, like Biden's popularity combined with not having, a vice president from that region, I think hurts him even more than other states. So yeah, he could even lose that. Like I mean, I don't know. What do you think about Minnesota?
I don't think Tim Walz is really that helpful in Minnesota, but we can put it there.
We
In
could
into
tilt
Till.
it
I don't
blue.
I don't
Yeah.
mind. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Do you think New Hampshire moves as much? I mean, we talked about how Maine would not move as much. I think this could maybe
Mm,
stay, although they are, I don't know. This is very borderline.
honestly, I do think Harris
Do
is
you think
leading
Trump
New
might even
Hampshire
win
now.
this?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think he would. I think he would win New Hampshire in this. Yes, I would actually tilt it. to the right here. I
Okay.
think, yeah, definitely. I mean, yes, as we were saying, like in those New England areas, yeah, the swings might not be as much, with having Biden on the ticket as opposed to Harris, but yeah, it's like it's close enough in New Hampshire now where I think definitely if it was still Biden versus Trump, Trump would take it. As for New Jersey and Virginia, I think Biden would still hold those. Harris is holding them by like pretty all right margins, both about 6 points. I don't think Biden could fall much further than that, so I think they'd both be lean blue.
Okay. I pretty much agree with that. Although
Oh, and
I don't know
sorry.
about
Oop.
Virginia though. Oh, sorry. What?
I was gonna say Nebraska. We could throw Nebraska second in there also probably.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
in terms of Virginia, though, there was some polling that looked interesting in the state. I mean, the polling seemed to be pretty good at the
hmm
end. Like a lot of these like latest poll, I mean, especially like Atlas, which is like apparently the best pollster ever, and a lot of these other polls that had, Paris +5 looked pretty, good at the end of the day. So if
hmm
you look at the hypothetical polling with Biden and Trump, it was getting a little sketchy here at the end for him, right
That's
before he
true.
dropped
Yeah.
out. I might even move this into tilt. Uh, I don't know. Is that going too far?
Yeah, I think it might be considering like, you
Okay.
need like a 6 point, like a 5 point swing at least. I don't know if it gets that far. And like I don't know, there's just not like any like Virginia specific factors to me that would be like, oh, why Biden would do particularly worse here as opposed to other states, like Minnesota, there might be some of that, but yeah, I don't really see that. So yeah, I think those two would be New Jersey and Virginia would be lean. Nebraska second. Yeah, Harris is winning it by like she's winning it by about
It's
five. Yeah, I
6.
think yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, 5 to 6. Yeah, that's probably lean blue as well. There's I think in that part of the Midwest, the more Great Plains area of the Midwest, you know, Harris like seemed to lose less there relative to the rest of the country. I don't know why, but like maybe something that could have helped is, Tim Walz has some roots in Nebraska. That's a bit of a stretch, but I don't know. It's just speculation. But yeah, I do think it would be lean blue, still in this situation. Yes.
Okay. And then I think the Rust Belt is probably just all lean R, right?
Yes.
I
Yeah, I would
mean,
agree.
Biden probably would not leak as much as in some other states because, obviously he's the Scranton Joe ties to
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. And, he's also seen as a lot more, pro, like, I guess pro these unions and
hmm
whatever else in the Rust Belt. So they'd probably go around the same. Although this does move Wisconsin into lean because right now
Yeah.
it's a
Still.
tilt.
I do think, yeah, that Scranton area. I think relative to the rest of the state, it did swing slightly further to the right. Um, but I mean, feel free to fact check me on that. But I believe it did. So like just based on like the data I've seen. So I
Yes.
think yeah, that could have something to do with it. So yeah, there is an argument there to say that okay, maybe it might it might not swing as much as other states. Yeah, because you could see in that northeastern portion.
Northeastern.
There's some bigger red arrows there for Trump. So yeah, there was there might have been a little extra pain there from not having Biden on the ballot. But yeah, generally, yeah, he would do worse in the state overall. So yeah, this would probably be the map here. Mm,
Yeah, so this really only moves, New Hampshire. It only flips New Hampshire in this scenario. Biden would only fall 4 electoral votes under 222, down from Harris's 226.
hmm
But a lot of these states could be a little sketchy. I mean, you don't really know how much, it could have gotten a
Yeah,
lot worse for
true.
Biden because his every move would have been monitored, in terms of his cognitive decline. We could have seen worse polling.
Imagine a
Uh,
second Biden versus Trump debate and what that would do. Yeah, that would be.
yeah,
I mean,
I
you never
mean,
know. This is speculation.
not that Trump did well in his debate with Harris, but I think anyone, Biden makes anyone look good on the debate stage. You'd also
hmm
have the Vance versus Harris debate. I honestly don't know who would win that. I think both are very competent in terms of debating, but I don't think that would
Mm,
have mattered as
that wouldn't
much.
matter. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I would. The focus would all be on Biden really at this point, and I don't know, but yeah. So this is our map. For now, I guess there's is no future map in this scenario. No
Yeah.
more, no more future. I mean, there could be like a Haley versus Harris or something.
Oh
I don't
God.
know.
Haley versus Biden is just like, yeah, New Jersey, New York, all red,
Haley
New
versus
Mexico, red.
Biden. I mean, yeah, you
Yeah.
might have a very, very red map in that
That
case.
would be like a
Although
legitimate like landslide. Like, oof.
although there is an argument that Trump turned out his people differently because a lot of these Senate races went the other way. So maybe Trump does overperform Haley. You don't really know unless
Mm,
you
eh.
have both timelines in your vision. But we don't really know because it's all about turning out the base versus winning over independents. It's a different strategy. But anyways, this is the map. 316 Republican, 222 Democrat. Biden gets obliterated, of course.
Hmm.
Yeah, so leave a like on this video down below. Comment down below if you would change anything. Would you flip any more states for Trump in this scenario? And subscribe to the channel because we're going to be doing our post-mortem or autopsy of our own predictions, which were quite a bit off, but we want to have full transparency. So,
Hmm.
ring that bell for that video. And thanks for watching, guys. Share this video with your family and friends.
See you guys.